Hi Anti-Society, welcome back to the Anti-Social Planet, and today we are checking out the special clip for DEMIAN, and I have just accepted that survival is not in my future, because not only is this song amazing in and of itself, but Sua is working on the choreo for this, and given her track record in how she comes for me when she choreographs things, I've accepted the inevitability of my coming doom. So you probably have a better idea of what I'm about to walk into than I do, but I'm accepting it. I'm going to be attacked. I don't really know from which angles, right? Like which members are going to be the most of an issue, but we're going to find it out. We're going to find out together. I'm already tripping over my words. I'm just like panicking internally. There's a lot of internal screeching happening, but let's watch this special clip and hopefully remember to breathe at the appropriate times. Okay, let's just accept our fate. Oh, it's probably gonna be like a performance video. Don't smirk at me. Okay, no. I'm sorry. Can we talk about the outfits? I would like to talk about the outfits. What is Sua wearing? What is this mesh shirt thing that we have going on? What is Dami wearing? All of them. What is this? Also, the bass, I forgot. I didn't really forget because I listen to the song almost on a daily basis, basically. At least once. I forgot though that like the bass in this song is just like, Xian didn't have to come for me that strong that quickly. What is Handong wearing? Oh my god. Center Gahyun is powerful. Ooh, okay, that like head detail. I love the like facial expression she did with that, even though it hurts me personally, but like from a performance standpoint, facial expression's always on point with Gahyun. A lot of like chest isolations too. Seriously, what is Handong's outfit? No, hang on, panicked! I panicked when Dami takes center and I knew that it was coming. From a performance standpoint, I love that we're kind of mixing up kind of these drawn out, more like languid movements, and then there's moments where they really match the beat of the bass that's going on and kind of accent it, which is great. It just makes me more aware of how much I like the bass, which is great for like a performance, right? Like a performance and choreo is supposed to like add to a performance, not distract from it, even though they are quite distracting. But it's supposed to like add those specific things. So they're like accenting specific parts that they want us to pay attention to, which I appreciate. I am stalling because Dami. I need you not to come for me too. Ooh, the spins are cool though. Ma'am. That choreo with the like breath in the production. Of course she's wearing Calvin Klein. That's why Calvin Klein coming for me in like every time they're like, let's do the fashion for an idol, just to like personally attack me. What's up with that? I liked the breath choreo though. This is a lot. Ooh, that like head spin though. I'm just thinking about how if they're going to perform this live with like vocals, the amount of like chest isolations would definitely mess with how stable you're able to keep your voice. And then that one where they have like the head whipping around, obviously the person who's doing the vocals isn't doing that move, but still like being able to do that move and then continue to do the choreo and have your spot afterwards doing the vocals, you're gonna have to reset yourself really quickly. So respect to them for having to like bring this choreo into an actual live performance setting, because it's one thing to have it like recorded, you're on a sound stage, you can do multiple takes and put it all together. It's another thing to know that you're gonna have to do this from beginning to end and do vocals. I'm sure they're incredible doing it, but like they're definitely challenging themselves, which I think is Sua's like signature card at this point. I like the spins too. Ooh. I actually love that, like covering half of the face, because DEMIAN, because people told me in my original reaction to the album, I was trying to think of it, the Hermann Hesse novel, and I could not think of it during the moment, and I'll probably get comments correcting me on that for like the rest of time, but whatever. But that in that novel, which I haven't read, so I'm going to be like straightforward, like I only know broad strokes about what it's about, but it is very much about kind of like, I think of it as like a splintering of personalities in a lot of ways. Like DEMIAN as like a character is kind of like a projection of what like the narrator of the novel like wishes they could do or hopes that they could be. Like there's a certain amount of like ego, super ego, and id kind of feeling to it. Again, I haven't read the novel, so feel free to continue to correct me on that one. But if I'm right, then having that like covering half the face is like showing kind of that half and half, right? Like multiple of yourself within, and part of it's hidden and part of it's showing externally, right? So it's like, what are you showing outwardly and what's being hidden behind the mask? So I really like that. I love all the spins they're doing too. There's just something really satisfying about watching people who could do a spin in sync that just like makes my brain happy. This outfit too, all of them. Who dressed them? Did they get a raise? Oh, that control, like the matching her like hand movements. I love when choreo does that, where like someone in the middle is doing like a hand gesture and it's kind of like controlling the movement around them. There's just something really powerful about that, and I think it just brings more attention to those like tiny details. I'm such a huge fan of like hand details in choreo. Like it's so over the top and it doesn't translate well to a live performance all the time, because tiny details, you're not going to be able to see that if you're sitting like way back in like the balconies, right? You're not going to be able to see that on a stage. So having a movement of the rest of the group follow that hand movement emphasizes that detail, because now you have like whole people moving in sync to that detail, so it's drawing your attention to it. Great work of just like drawing attention to like little moments, not only in the production but also in like specific parts of the choreo, which I really love. Ooh, that like stopping jittery movement. The hand detail there. Am I panicking because it's Dami's part again? Yes, I am. But the hand detail there as well. Love it. I love the reveal to Handong's part too. They're so good about doing that, like redirecting attention to the right person. I don't know why she has to flex literally at me. I'll never get over that is Gahyun. Like that is her voice coming out of her. Like that part throws me off every time I hear it. I've heard this song so many times. Like I said, I listen to it basically daily. And every time Gahyun's part comes up, I'm like, how is that your voice? How is this the same voice that I've been hearing in other songs? How? Also, I feel like having Dami like literally flex at me and then having Gahyun come right after with that vocal tone is like not fair. I was just thinking, I like the movement there too of like the shoulders and like the arms, like very like higher body oriented. There's just something about it that like feels like, I feel like it has this like fighting back feeling to it, right? Because it makes me think of like going through, and I say this as somebody who doesn't know anything about like fighting really, but it makes me think of like doing like specific routines and stuff with like boxing and stuff. So it kind of fits into that kind of the power and kind of taking some kind of control back, right? Like wanting that control, wanting that power, and kind of fits with the more assertive feeling to the song in general. Yeah, they have like the punches and then kind of like blocking. Ooh, good movement there. Okay, well, I got distracted by a lot of things there, but like I love how it was like kind of like alternating like in the lines of like who was moving, and it kind of like moved from one side of the stage to the other. That movement there and the like the V formation they had. It was a great way to change the formation too, but I don't know if the body rolls were necessary. Oh, this part. Love that there's floor work there. Ooh. There too, of like kind of like the breakdown part, lots of like upper body movements there, which I think is great when we had like the changing the levels there with the floor work. And I love how we had like that spotlighting moment, like literally spotlighting, but it's a great way of putting all of the attention on Xian for her part, because all of them are on a different level, right? And they add to kind of like this elegance to it with the hand movements, but it's a great way of really isolating Xian and letting her like have that moment. And then again in this breakdown, more upper body arm movements, again adding to that kind of fighting combat, and again like almost like blocking attacks to the whole aesthetic of like the choreo. Even them like on opposite sides, like almost facing off. Ooh. I love how she loosened up there. I know I'm like pausing, rewinding a lot. Okay, I'm sorry. Just like when I see things that I like, I have to pause and I have to go back and I have to talk about them. But that too, with having Xian come through and she's really loose with her body, which is great in the contrast to, again, those like fighting movements. They're very sure, they're very steady. They have a lot of power behind them. They're exhausting. I want to have shout out again to that, because if you're going to be doing this live, those movements, the kind of energy that you have to put in them, not only to like do the movement, but to stop the movement, you have to continue to have control of it. So it's really tiring to do that for like a whole length of time. Doing it near the end of a choreo is also exhausting. But then having, you know, all of this kind of rigid tension to the movements, and then having Xian come in that part and have really loose movements is a great way of, again, spotlighting, having that contrast between the person who's doing the vocals and the people who aren't, and also switching up the feeling of the choreo with like a little detail, right? Like it's just the amount of tension that they're maintaining in their body. That's like the one kind of texture to the movements that they're changing. But it's a great way of like reestablishing attention and making sure that you have that contrast between who's the focal point and the members that are helping kind of like build the picture of that moment. Ooh, see, that was powerful too. beautiful line there. Again, powerful. And I love how we have Jiu as like the one standing in front because leader, right? So having the rest of them like backing her up in that moment. Some great pictures in that. Also, not great for my health. I think I went into like over analyst mode near the end there because the alternative was completely losing my sanity. So there's that. I would like to first off start by saying, what was that? Why? That's my question. Out to the universe, to Dreamcatcher specifically. So many things that I love. Like the song itself is so good. So that was like it was already a given that this was going to be great. Then I heard that Sua had something to do with the choreo. Then I was like, oh, okay, obviously this is going to be really good. It's also going to be like a little bit intimidating. It's going to be on the more intricate side, and it's definitely going to have like her special little flavor to it, which is like, you know, it attacks all of us. I think we can all collectively agree on that one. Some great images in it. I'm sad that I couldn't have like the lyrics up with it because they only had the auto translated ones, and I didn't want to like put that up because they're usually not great. So I didn't want to have that. I feel like if I did, I would have been able to get some more of the images because I would have been able to remember like which specific lyric was happening at which point. I do remember like the broad strokes of the song, but I'm not like constantly watching like a lyric video of it. So that makes me a little bit sad. I feel like I could have gotten some more cool things out of it. Let me know if you have any notes on that down in the comments. I would love to like nerd out about it. But some great images, some great uses of like levels and like tension in the body. And I would love to just get to see a like pulled back version of it without like different camera cuts and movements and stuff, so I could like really see some of the movements and formations and things like that. But there were some great times where they like did specific movements in the choreo and it worked as a way to change positions. I'm thinking of when we switched in the bridge part where we switched from Yuhyun to Handang, where they switched there, and the way that they did it was matching like the movement of like the whole group and their formation, which was great. I love seamless things like that. Whoever dressed them, raise promotion. I would like to personally send my therapy bills to them because I feel like those outfits are going to be a problem for a while. Do I want to just watch this over and over and over again? Yes. Absolutely. It was so good. I want to see a live now because I want to see them pull this off from like beginning to end and just like wow me with how talented they are. I want to see a dance practice. I want to see this video again. I want to go and listen to the whole album again. That's just kind of like where I'm at. It was so good. So let me know all your thoughts down in the comments. I would love to just be able to continue to nerd out and geek out about this performance because it was so good. And I hope you enjoyed watching that along with me. You can click this playlist to go and see my previous reactions, or you can subscribe so you miss next time I post a Dreamcatcher reaction, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!